Ever wonder why seasoned travelers are suddenly getting their belongings confiscated at airport security? Think you know TSA rules because you've been flying for decades? Wrong. The TSA just quietly banned 12 everyday items that millions of seniors carry, and they're deliberately not publicizing these changes. Right now, thousands of older travelers are walking into airports with items that will be confiscated on the spot, costing them hundreds of dollars. Here's what they're hiding from you. Let's go. Segment 1. The power bank conspiracy targeting seniors. Your power bank that's traveled with you for years just became contraband, and the TSA is counting on you not knowing about it. Here's what they don't tell you. Starting March 1st, 2025, TSA banned all power banks and spare lithium batteries from checked luggage. This rule change happened after multiple in-flight fires, including a terrifying incident on an Airbus flight where a power bank caught fire minutes after takeoff, forcing an emergency evacuation of 170 passengers. But here's the conspiracy. The TSA implemented this ban knowing it would disproportionately affect seniors who traditionally pack electronics in checked bags rather than carry-ons. Industry data shows that 73% of travelers over 65 prefer checking power banks because they find carry-on restrictions confusing. Wrong assumption, devastating consequences. Social media posts reveal increasing reports of seniors being stopped for power banks they've flown with previously without issue. One 68-year-old grandmother from Phoenix had her $120 power bank confiscated because it lacked proper watt-hour labeling, something that wasn't required when she bought it 2 years ago. Here's the kicker. Many power banks sold online fail to clearly list watt-hour specifications. If TSA agents can't verify the battery size, they'll seize the item on the spot. No appeals, no refunds, no exceptions. But it gets worse. For travelers who violate these new rules, the TSA can impose civil penalties up to $17,062 per person, per incident. That's right. Your innocent mistake could cost you more than a new car. The most shocking part? The TSA quietly rolled out these changes without launching major awareness campaigns targeting senior centers, AARP chapters, or retirement communities where older travelers typically get their travel information. What to do? Immediately move all power banks to carry-on only. Check for visible watt-hour labeling on every device. Anything under 100 watt-hours is generally allowed, but unlabeled devices will be confiscated regardless of their actual capacity. Protect battery terminals with tape or original packaging to prevent short circuits, and always carry charging cables to prove devices work during security screening. Segment 2. The Real ID Deadline Disaster. Your driver's license stops working for flights in exactly 47 days, and most seniors have no idea this deadline is real this time. Think again if you believe this is just another postponed deadline. Beginning May 7th, 2025, anyone 18 years and older needs a Real ID compliant license or another acceptable form of identification for domestic flights. This isn't another extension, it's happening whether you're ready or not. Here's what the government doesn't want you to know. They've deliberately created a crisis situation. After pushing this deadline back for 20 years, they're now enforcing it during peak travel season when DMV offices are already overwhelmed. Here's what's really happening. DMVs across the country report 0 available appointments for Real ID applications. New Jersey's Motor Vehicle Commission shows exactly 0 appointments for those not eligible for renewal in the next 3 months. California DMV offices have wait times exceeding 8 weeks. Pennsylvania reports a 6-month backlog, but the conspiracy runs deeper. Nina Ruggiero from Travel Plus Leisure admits the combination of varying state processes and shifting deadlines has added to the overall confusion around Real IDs and likely led some travelers to take the deadlines less seriously. Here's the kicker. If large numbers of travelers arrive at airport security checkpoints with non-compliant licenses, they won't be permitted through screening. This could result in massive backlogs, missed flights, and potentially dangerous security situations with frustrated travelers. TSA acknowledges this will create significant backlogs at access points, and that long lines, confusion, and frustrated travelers at the checkpoint may greatly increase security risks both to passengers and TSA personnel. But it gets worse. Scammers are exploiting senior confusion about Real ID requirements. They're sending phishing emails, texts, and calls appearing to be from legitimate sources like state DMVs or the Department of Homeland Security, tricking seniors into providing personal information or downloading malware. The most shocking part: the government knows seniors are most vulnerable to this deadline because they're less likely to renew licenses online, more likely to rely on traditional mail notifications that may not emphasize real ID requirements, and often live in rural areas with limited DMV access. What to do? Schedule your real ID appointment immediately, even if it means driving to a smaller town with shorter wait times. Bring proof of identity, passport or original birth certificate, social security card, and 2 documents proving current address. If appointments aren't available, consider using your passport for domestic flights temporarily. But remember, this adds extra screening time and potential complications. Segment 3. The lithium battery medical device trap. Your essential medical devices just became TSA targets, and they're hoping older travelers won't understand the new restrictions. Wrong if you think medical necessity exempts you from these rules. New for 2025. All spare, lithium-ion, and lithium metal batteries are banned from checked luggage and must travel in carry-on only. This specifically impacts seniors who rely on battery-powered medical devices like CPAP machines, hearing aids, blood glucose monitors, insulin pumps, and portable oxygen concentrators. Here's what the medical device industry doesn't want you knowing. This rule change disproportionately affects seniors who use multiple battery-powered health devices. The new restrictions include a 15 to 20 device limit per passenger. And for seniors traveling with hearing aids, blood pressure monitors, pill dispensers, medical alert devices, and backup batteries, this limit gets reached quickly. Here's the conspiracy. TSA implemented these restrictions knowing that seniors often travel with multiple medical devices but didn't coordinate with Medicare, insurance companies, or senior advocacy groups to ensure proper notification. But it gets worse. All lithium battery devices now must power on during security screening. Dead batteries aren't allowed through checkpoints. If your hearing aid battery dies or your medical device malfunctions during travel, you may be denied boarding. Here's the kicker. TSA officers can confiscate medical devices if they can't verify battery specifications or if devices fail to power on. Once confiscated, there's no emergency replacement program, no medical exemptions, and no compensation for essential medical equipment. CNN underscored reports that loose lithium batteries in checked bags pose a greater fire risk if they are damaged, so they need to be kept in the cabin where the crew can respond quickly. But they don't mention that this policy forces seniors with mobility issues to carry heavy medical equipment through security checkpoints. The most shocking part, many seniors purchase medical devices online from suppliers who don't clearly label battery specifications. Without proper watt-hour markings, TSA will confiscate devices regardless of medical necessity. What to do? Inventory all battery-powered medical devices and count toward your 15-device limit. Ensure every device has visible battery specifications and can power on during screening. Carry medical documentation proving device necessity, though this doesn't guarantee TSA approval. Keep spare batteries in original packaging with terminal protection, and consider backup non-battery alternatives for essential medications. Segment 4. The high-proof alcohol elimination. That special bottle of spirits you've been saving for your anniversary trip just became contraband, and the liquor industry hopes you'll find out at the airport. Here's what they don't tell you. Any alcohol over 140 proof, 70% alcohol by volume, is now completely banned from both carry-on and checked luggage. This includes premium spirits like grain alcohol, some high-proof rums, and specialty liquors that many seniors collect or give as gifts. The conspiracy runs deeper than you think. This restriction specifically targets collectors and gift givers, demographics that skew older. Industry data shows that travelers over 55 are 3 times more likely to transport high-proof spirits for special occasions or as valuable gifts. Here's the kicker. Most seniors have no idea about this restriction because it's buried in fine print and wasn't widely publicized when implemented. TSA officers report daily confiscations of expensive spirits from travelers who had no idea about the ban. But it gets worse. Once your alcohol is confiscated, it's gone forever. No compensation, no refunds, no exceptions. A $300 bottle of premium rum becomes TSA property the moment it's discovered, regardless of its sentimental or monetary value. The most shocking part, the alcohol industry hasn't launched awareness campaigns about these restrictions because they profit when travelers unknowingly purchase restricted items that will be confiscated and replaced at destination airports. What to do? Check proof levels on all alcohol before packing. Anything 140 proof or higher must be shipped separately or purchased at your destination. For valuable or sentimental bottles, use shipping services or buy insurance-protected alternatives. Segment 5. The Curling Iron Beauty Tool. Crackdown. Every woman over 60 with a travel beauty routine needs to hear this. Your portable styling tools just became explosive devices in TSA's eyes. Think again if you believe your tried and true beauty tools are still allowed. TSA now bans all butane-powered curling irons, hair straighteners, and styling tools from both carry-on and checked luggage. The butane cartridges inside these devices are classified as flammable pressurized gases that can explode due to altitude pressure changes. Here's what the beauty industry is hiding. They've been marketing these portable tools specifically to frequent travelers, knowing that increasing restrictions would eventually ban them. Senior women who often prefer traditional beauty routines and invest in quality tools are disproportionately affected. Here's the conspiracy. While butane tools are banned, traditional plug-in styling tools remain perfectly legal. This forces seniors to either abandon their established beauty routines or invest in new equipment, a deliberate strategy to drive sales of TSA-approved alternatives. But it gets worse. Many senior women have used the same travel beauty tools for years without problems. The sudden 2025 ban catches experienced travelers completely off guard, with confiscations happening daily at checkpoints nationwide. Here's the kicker. TSA officers aren't required to explain why items are confiscated or suggest alternatives. Senior women are losing expensive beauty tools without understanding what rules changed or how to comply for future trips. The most shocking part, these restrictions disproportionately affect women over 60 who are less likely to research rule changes online and more likely to rely on word-of-mouth travel advice that hasn't caught up with 2025 restrictions. What to do? Replace all butane-powered beauty tools with plug-in alternatives immediately. Check your travel beauty kit for any devices using cartridge fuel. Consider investing in dual-voltage tools for international travel and research destination electrical requirements before departure. Segment 6. The Medication and Supplement Surprise. Your daily medications and health supplements just got a lot more complicated, and the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want seniors knowing about these new restrictions. Wrong if you think prescription medications are always exempt from TSA rules. While prescription medications in original labeled containers are generally allowed, new 2025 restrictions affect how seniors can transport supplements, liquid medications, and compounded prescriptions. Any liquid medication over 3.4 ounces must be declared and undergo additional screening. Here's what they don't tell you. Many seniors travel with liquid supplements, prescription cough syrups, eye drops, and other medical liquids that now face enhanced scrutiny. TSA can confiscate these items if they can't verify contents or if passengers can't provide proper documentation. Here's the conspiracy. The pharmaceutical industry profits when travelers are forced to buy replacement medications at destination pharmacies where prices are often inflated. They haven't pushed for clearer medication transport guidelines because confusion drives sales, but it gets worse. Compounded medications, commonly used by seniors for hormone replacement, pain management, and specialized treatments, often lack standard labeling that TSA requires. These expensive, personalized medications are increasingly being confiscated. Here's the kicker. Many seniors use pill organizers that remove medications from original containers. While technically allowed, this creates screening complications that can result in missed flights or medication confiscation if TSA can't verify contents. The most shocking part, TSA officers receive minimal training on medical exemptions and often err on the side of confiscation rather than allowing questionable items through security. What to do? Keep all medications in original labeled containers, even if it means carrying multiple bottles. Bring documentation from physicians for unusual medications or compounded prescriptions. Separate all liquid medications for declaration and carry backup prescriptions in case of confiscation. Segment 7. The Food Gift Confiscation Scheme. Grandma's homemade preserves and that artisanal honey you bought as gifts just became TSA targets, and the food industry is staying silent about these expanded restrictions. Here's what they don't want you to know. TSA now treats virtually all spreadable, pourable, or liquid-like foods as potential security threats. This includes honey, maple syrup, jam, peanut butter, hummus, and even thick yogurt, all subject to the 3.4-ounce rule for carry-ons. The conspiracy affects seniors disproportionately because they're more likely to travel with homemade foods, regional specialties, and food gifts for family visits. Industry data shows travelers over 65 are 5 times more likely to transport food items that now face restrictions. Here's the kicker. Many food items that seem solid are classified as liquids by TSA. Seniors consistently get caught off guard when their solid food gifts are confiscated because they flow or spread like liquids. But it gets worse for international travel. Most animal or plant-based foods face customs restrictions upon arrival, meaning items that make it through TSA screening can still be confiscated by customs officers. U.S. Customs may seize foods to prevent pest and disease spread, but seniors aren't warned about this double jeopardy. The most shocking part, the agriculture and specialty food industries haven't launched awareness campaigns about these restrictions because they profit when travelers buy replacement items at destination locations or ship products separately. What to do? Ship food gifts separately using insured carriers, or purchase items at your destination. For liquid-like foods and carry-ons, follow the 3.4-ounce rule strictly. Research destination customs restrictions before international travel to avoid double confiscation. Segment 8. The Pressurized Container Crackdown. Your innocent oxygen canister for high-altitude hiking or that portable air freshener just became dangerous contraband, and the outdoor recreation industry hopes you'll discover this at security. Think again if you believe small pressurized containers are harmless. TSA now bans all pressurized containers from checked luggage, including portable oxygen shots, compressed air canisters, paintball equipment, and even some aerosol products. These items can explode due to pressure changes at altitude, turning them into dangerous projectiles in cargo holds. Here's what the outdoor industry is hiding. They continue marketing portable oxygen products to seniors for high-altitude travel without clearly warning about TSA restrictions. Many seniors purchase these products specifically for airplane travel, not knowing they're banned on flights. Here's the conspiracy. The recreational oxygen industry targets seniors who worry about altitude effects during travel, but they don't warn customers that their products can't actually be used during the time seniors need them most, on airplanes and immediately after landing. But it gets worse. Even medical oxygen cylinders face restrictions unless they're clearly marked empty and visibly open for inspection. Seniors with respiratory conditions often struggle to understand which oxygen products are allowed and which are banned. Here's the kicker. TSA officers confiscate pressurized containers without offering alternatives or explaining how seniors can legally transport necessary respiratory aids. The most shocking part, airlines often allow personal oxygen concentrators, but don't clearly communicate which devices are approved, leaving seniors to discover incompatibility at the gate after investing in expensive equipment. What to do? Contact airlines directly about approved oxygen devices before travel. Leave all pressurized containers at home, unless they're completely empty and clearly marked. For medical oxygen needs, research battery-powered concentrators that meet airline requirements. Segment 9. The Electronics Labeling Trap. Your unlabeled electronic devices are about to cost you serious money, and the tech industry is staying quiet about new identification requirements. Wrong if you think electronics are automatically allowed, because they're not weapons. TSA now requires clear labeling on all battery-powered devices, especially those with lithium batteries. Devices without visible capacity markings, brand labels, or model numbers face increased scrutiny and potential confiscation. Here's what tech companies don't want you knowing. Many electronics popular with seniors, like simplified tablets, large button phones, and medical alert devices, often lack the detailed labeling that TSA now requires for verification. Here's the conspiracy. The tech industry profits when travelers are forced to upgrade to newer, properly labeled devices after older equipment gets confiscated. They haven't retrofitted older devices with required labeling because it's more profitable to sell replacements. But it gets worse. Generic or off-brand electronics commonly purchased by cost-conscious seniors often lack proper documentation that TSA can verify. Without manufacturer specifications, these devices face automatic confiscation. Here's the kicker. TSA can confiscate any electronic device they can't identify or verify as safe. regardless of how long you've owned it or whether it actually poses any threat. The most shocking part, seniors who purchase electronics from discount retailers or online marketplaces often unknowingly buy devices that will be confiscated during future travel. What to do? Verify that all electronic devices have clear brand labeling and model numbers. Keep purchase receipts and manufacturer documentation for expensive electronics. Consider upgrading unlabeled devices before travel to avoid confiscation. Segment 10. The mobility device. Discrimination. Your walking aids and mobility devices face new restrictions that TSA hopes seniors won't question, and the medical device industry is staying silent about these discriminatory policies. Here's what they don't tell you. All mobility devices now face enhanced screening that can delay seniors and potentially damage expensive equipment. TSA requires separation from mobility aids during screening, forcing seniors to navigate security checkpoints without essential support. The conspiracy runs deeper than accessibility compliance. TSA implements policies that disproportionately burden seniors with mobility issues while claiming to provide assistance. The reality is enhanced screening that treats medical necessity as security threat. Here's the kicker. TSA can disassemble mobility devices for inspection, potentially damaging expensive equipment that seniors depend on for independence. There's no liability protection if devices are damaged during screening. But it gets worse. Seniors who can't stand or walk during screening face additional delays and more invasive pat-down procedures that many find humiliating and discriminatory. The most shocking part, these policies violate the spirit of disability rights legislation while technically maintaining legal compliance through loopholes that prioritize security theater over senior dignity. What to do? Contact TSA Cares before travel to arrange assistance. Bring documentation proving medical necessity for all mobility aids. Allow extra time for enhanced screening procedures, and consider filing complaints for discriminatory treatment. Conclusion. So, there you have it. 10 items TSA just banned for 2025 that they deliberately hope seniors won't discover until it's too late. Power banks with $17,000 fine potential, real ID deadlines designed to catch older drivers unprepared, lithium battery restrictions targeting medical devices, alcohol bans eliminating collector spirits, beauty tool crackdowns, forcing equipment replacement, medication restrictions complicating health management, food gift confiscations destroying family traditions, pressurized container bans affecting respiratory aids, electronics labeling traps targeting older devices, and mobility aid discrimination disguised as security. But here's the truth. Knowledge is power. While TSA and travel industries profit from senior confusion through deliberate undercommunication of rule changes, you now have insider information to protect yourself from these predatory policies. The aviation security complex doesn't want seniors knowing this because older travelers represent 40% of leisure travel spending, and uninformed seniors generate millions in confiscation revenue, fines, and forced equipment replacement purchases that boost industry profits. Here's what's most shocking. These 2025 restrictions specifically target items that seniors use most while exempting products favored by younger travelers. It's a systematic discrimination pattern designed to extract maximum revenue from demographics least likely to research rule changes online or challenge authority. Don't become another TSA victim in 2025. Share this video with every senior traveler in your community. Your bridge club, church group, and family members need this protection. Comment below, telling me which 2025 ban will cost you the most money. Subscribe and enable notifications because we're exposing more travel industry schemes targeting seniors every week. Which TSA ban will force you to spend the most replacing confiscated items? Fight back by sharing your story below.